We're live.
Oh, yay! Yay! Good morning, everybody. Are we live? Oh, yeah, we sure are. Oh, good morning, good morning,
Yeah.
good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. So here is our fifth edition, or episode, I should say. I cannot believe that we're at number 5
Okay.
already.
Is it
Hang on
5?
one second.
We're at 6.
Are we at 6?
I think
Really?
we're at 6. Are we? Wait. Yeah.
Oh my
This is
goodness,
6.
hold on. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties. Oh, well, it's fine. We're just going to run with it. For some
Okay.
reason, it's not on one of our pages, but that's all right. We're just going to go with this.
Okay.
So good morning, everybody. This is, I believe it's episode 5, maybe episode 6 of At Home with Tanya and Jolene. I am Tanya Blosser. I'm a local real estate agent here in the Northern Virginia area with Coldwell Banker. I have my beautiful co-host with me this morning, who is...
I am Jolene Moore from Main Street Home Loans. So we're a local lender, a local loan officer as well. So it's been a lot of fun doing this with Tanya. So I was looking at our calendar. I think it is the 6th. So
is it really
in the middle of creating a YouTube channel so that we're going to put all of these episodes up there so you can easily access them, because we've had some great guests and great content and help to help everyone kind of in this place that we're in right now. So we'll be posting that. So be checking that out soon.
Yes, absolutely. We just expand. Like every week that we do this, we're expanding a little bit more.
Yes.
So today we have a local recruiter with us. His name is Kyle Moriarty. Did I say that right?
You did.
Okay, perfect. Oh, phew. I should have asked you that before we went live. That's one of those kind of like interviewer things.
No, you got it.
So we thought today it would be a really great conversation to have about what's going on in the local staffing community and marketplace. So Kyle, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, because I think what you do is it sounds like it's pretty specific, and I will mess it up.
Well, all right. So my name is Kyle Moriarty. I am a recruiter with a local staffing firm. My firm is nationwide, but I sit in the Reston office. We do a lot of business within finance, accounting, and IT and tech. Me specifically, most of the work that I've been doing has been supporting Northrop Grumman. They have a mission they're working in conjunction with NASA with. NASA has the Artemis project, and it's kind of working hand in hand with Northrop Grumman's Gateway program. Essentially, I don't want to get into too many details, and you can Google Gateway and Northrop Grumman, and you can find all of the public knowledge on it. But essentially, they are building a habitable satellite module to be orbiting the moon by 2024, and having astronauts and scientists living in that space station who can collect data from the moon. They can travel to and from the surface of the moon with a lunar lander. And it's really just kind of securing a foothold into further space exploration. Potentially Mars next is what we're thinking, or at least what I think is going to happen. That's my projection. but that's the majority of the work that I've been doing, just trying to find engineers for that project to help get to the moon again. And Artemis with NASA, their goal is to put the first woman on the moon and the next man.
Wow, it's like big brain stuff. Yeah. I mean, like, whoa.
Yeah. They're very, very smart people I communicate with all the time, and I have to tell them, I'm not an engineer. Help me understand what these terms mean.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So you didn't have a background in engineer or anything like that prior to coming to this role?
No, my background was customer service and essentially restaurants.
Wow. So has COVID had any impact on the staffing portion of kind of the customers and the clients that you support?
Well, yes and no. It's had some negative impacts, and it has had an interesting positive impact. My company was one of a few companies that was tasked with helping, get the CARES Act up and running. We searched for, I believe, 1,000 loan processors to help, get all these small businesses across the country what they needed from the federal government in conjunction with the CARES Act. So we had a hand in helping get that started up and in the process. They processed about 60,000 loans last year, and just this year alone, with the help of all these people working for the CARES Act, we've processed about 1 million so far. So it's been exciting to help in that sense. We're really doing good for the community, and helping small businesses stay on their feet. And certain markets it's gone down, certain markets it's gone up. Some places are still hiring because, of course, cleared work never ends, and anybody with a clearance, you're always going to have a job, and they always need people in a secure environment. But
Yeah.
it's had its ups and downs for sure.
So what have you, Kyle, what have you seen, like when you said, what areas have you seen move, like increase in this time? Like, is there specific, like you were talking about, you're focusing on finance, accounting, and tech. Out of those three, is there one of those that's you've seen a little bit more of an increase, or have they, has it just kind of been company to company?
Well, it's actually more so been federal versus commercial. A lot of commercial things have paused for now, but federal work never stops. So in the commercial world, it's not so great. It's an unfortunate time that we're living in, and people have been furloughed and lost their jobs. But we're doing a great job, I think, of taking those people and putting them in places where they are, having needs at this time. And it's just a crazy situation overall with its ups and downs, positives and negatives. It's hard to navigate, but by and large, our business hasn't stopped, and it's probably not going to stop because everybody needs people in one way or another in certain industries.
Is your role more, I mean, could a person come to you and get help with placement in one of the clients that you guys work with, or is it you primarily work with businesses who help you kind of the reverse way? Am I making sense?
Yes. No.
Okay.
I would, people could come to me and ask for my help, of course. Again, I've done most of my specific experience with the Gateway program with Northrop Grumman. But, our office and the people that I work with have a lot of business all over the country and all different types of, finance, accounting, and IT roles. So, yeah, I mean, if I don't have something in my specific business, I can send out people to my office and say, do you have a fit for this person? And generally that works. And people are like, oh yeah, I think I have a role with like a DevOps role here.
Yeah.
So how do you find the people to fill the needs that you have or that your company has in general? Like, are you guys going to search for people, or is it mainly that people come to you?
Yeah, so we search for people. The recruiters, we go out, we have certain job boards that we access, and we look at people's resumes and vet them before calling them, and then call them with the opportunity. And then we get resumes buttoned up and sent over to the client and see what they say. So we are the people finding the talent, and then we send the talent to the client saying, hey, is this someone you're interested in?
So is there any, I think I kind of asked you this, and I know some of it's just generic, but, since we know that unemployment, rates have gone up quite, staggeringly high, is there any kind of recommendations or things that you guys look for, your company looks for on resumes, or like kind of formatting or anything like that could help people make theirs, like when you're looking for the talent, help them stand out a little bit more?
Okay, so a couple of things that I've learned from working with some of the more senior recruiters within my company. Just too much open space is bad. If you've got everything formatted on the left side of your resume, but the right side is completely blank, try to even it out, put dates on the right, place where you worked on the left, and then, brevity is good, less is more. Just highlights of what you were doing and how that applies to, your experience as an individual. Bullet points rather than a whole paragraph to read. I know that a lot of hiring managers, when they take a look at a resume, they want to see keywords, they want to see experience, and they want to keep it short and sweet, but they want to see the substance there as well. So, make sure that you're spreading everything out, making it look nice and neat, left to right, bottom to top. Use bullet points rather than writing like a whole paragraph based on your experience, and just get to the point. You don't want to spend too much time writing up everything you've done, because at a certain point, a hiring manager is going to look at a resume and go, okay, this is a long sentence I don't want to read.
Yeah.
So do you have, isn't that so funny? I'm really wordy with a lot of the things that I do in my marketing material. And it's like, I think if I got myself to the point where it was just bullet points, people might actually read it. Because it is so true. So when you are finding candidates and stuff, is it more so that you're finding them like on the large, like Intuit or what is that one I hear all the time? Indeed. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Intuit, right. Indeed, or like, are you
That's tax.
Yeah, exactly. Clearly, you know what I've got in my brain is doing my taxes. But do you find them on larger job boards like that? And if you do, like, how important is it to, I mean, like, match keywords with a post, a job posting versus what's in your resume? Like, how does those mechanics work?
Well, we have a certain way of searching for resumes. So we'll go on a job board and we'll use something that's called a Boolean. Pretty much everybody who's in the staffing firm uses them. Essentially, you just create a little string of search, and it'll populate keywords and phrases that you put into that search out of people's resumes. So if I'm looking for a software developer that has C++ or Python experience, who has experience on a Linux platform, who is cleared, who has a clearance, I could just plug in C++, Python, Linux in a certain way, and it'll pop up all of the resumes that have that inside of the resume. And it'll kind of show me in terms of relevance where, if you got more in the resume, and then further down it comes, less of the keywords.
Okay.
It's kind of like your SEO on the internet. You want to make sure you have your keywords in there so that
Right.
when people are searching your resume, that's
right.
Exactly. It's almost like a hashtag, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hashtags. Man, I feel like I live by those nowadays too. So what about, like, I've also heard social media. And so when you're out there and you're in the job world and stuff, like, people are Googling, right? Googling on social media, figuring out your posts and stuff like that. How much is that relevant nowadays?
Well, obviously LinkedIn is a huge platform. Not only is it a recruiting database, but it's also a social media platform. And I have found a little success looking through LinkedIn, both on the recruiting side and just going through my network. So, I mean, staying active on social media definitely helps when it comes to creating an online presence for yourself, especially if it comes to a point where you're looking for a job. Having your resume out there, depending on your industry, can really help get you further along as far as a job is concerned, and getting the attention that you need in order to get into a place.
Now, Tanya, I don't know if you were mentioning that you were thinking this, but do you, like, when, say, you find a resume that meets those keywords, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking at them like, oh, they look like they could be good.
I didn't ask it very well.
Yeah.
Oh, do I look? Oh, no.
On, like, Facebook
I didn't ask
or
it very well.
Instagram or something like that to see, do you feel confident, with the whole picture of the person before recommending them? Or are you guys basically just going by the resume and then maybe a conversation?
Well, I mean, every now and then I'll look up someone's LinkedIn profile, but I'm not like actively going on Facebook or Instagram trying to find these people. I feel like that could create scenarios of potential discrimination that you don't want to go through. If someone's got the credentials on their resume, that's what you're looking for. You don't need to dig into their personal life too much.
Because I tell my older, kids that, you want to be careful what you post, because when you are looking for a job.
Yes, obviously that's very true.
You aren't as the recruiter, but the potential employer.
Exactly. Yes, potential employer might.
So, you just want to be conscious of what you're putting out there, posting, and
one would think that's kind of common knowledge at this point. Don't put anything crazy on your social media, or else it'll disqualify you from a job. One would think that everyone knows that, but that's not the case, I suppose.
I know that if they don't seem to follow it.
No, I mean, so my older daughter is only 13, and I'm probably going to be considered a little crazy mom when I say this, but I've already talking to her about, like, what's your resume look like? What have you done in your little life so far, right?
That's good.
Yeah, because I feel like you're always, in this world that we're in nowadays, you're always kind of having to present yourself to somebody.
Even like for college, I mean, it's like when you go to apply for college, they're looking at what, and when you go to these seminars, they say extracurricular doesn't have a huge impact, but they are looking, some schools, not all, look at the whole picture. Like, you might have really great grades, but are you doing anything else beyond that? And how are you balancing that and things like that? So I think all of that can have an impact.
There was a story I saw on social media about the backlash of how that can all go down if you put something bad. There was a story about a couple college or high school kids who were set to go to college and set up for good stuff, but they just made an incredibly awful and racist TikTok video. And that
Oh.
video basically ruined this, like the girl's chance of going to college. The guy lost a job. They're
Wow.
super under fire. So that is an example of,
Yeah.
definitely be careful what you're doing on your social media, because that
Yeah.
can come back and bite you in a big way.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're in college right now. I mean, I think about college seniors, and now they're graduating this year, they're getting out into the workforce and stuff. Like what you did social media wise in your college years could be hugely impactful
Oh yeah.
in finding a job now, especially when we're kind of in the state of the world that we are with COVID and the pandemic.
Right.
Wow.
Now, Kyle, have you seen, with what we were talking about with unemployment and all of that, and I know you said the federal is still, always needs to be hiring. Have you seen a bigger influx of like resumes and people to choose from, or is in your world it's kind of stayed more solid?
Well, in my world, it's stayed more solid. The federal work, again, it never ends, and there are always needs for people with clearances to work on cleared environments. I mean, one of the best ways I can put it is, just because there's a global pandemic, that's not going to stop Russia or China from trying to hack into our networks, and so we can't sleep on that. We can't, let our security infrastructure go down because of a global pandemic. So there are people who are necessary, who are still, fighting on that infrastructure front. And all sites, all types of projects that still need to be done, even in a pandemic. So personally, I have not seen too much of a change. Now, I have seen an influx of resumes for sure on job boards lately. And it's people coming from a commercial background mostly. But yeah, I haven't seen much of a difference.
Do you have any knowledge to help individuals, like you're saying, you mentioned clearance quite a few times. So obviously, if wanting to get into the federal side of things, it's helpful to have a clearance.
Yes.
Do you need to be with a company to get a clearance, or can you do it on your own?
So a company does need to sponsor your clearance, and essentially you would go into that company, through that company would apply for the clearance, and there are certain levels and types of investigations that you go through, all the way from, the lowest level being like a public trust, a DHS public trust. You can get all the way up to like a full scope polygraph, where they will literally sit you down for 4 hours and ask you questions for hours and make sure that you're all, nice and neat and pro-America, essentially, and to make sure that you're not going to do anything nefarious with this information, or that you don't have the type of personality to do so. So it can be grueling and it can take a lot of time, but yeah, it does require company sponsorship, and some people in the military get processed for clearances as well, and they can hold on to them for a certain period of time without company sponsorship, but eventually it would get archived.
Yeah, I know someone recently that was saying that they were getting hired for with a company, and they were going to take, help sponsor their clearance, but it was going to take maybe a year. To get that clearance. So it's like, so you're not working, it's like, that's a balancing act,
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. I had a similar first-time home buyer. She was graduating college, moving from California here for a position that she had found through some type of job fair that was at her college campus. And literally it was that situation where it was like a year that she had to wait in order to get through the clearance process and all that kind of stuff,
it's a long process for sure. Yeah. I mean, they gotta dig into everything. They gotta make sure that you're not doing anything nefarious in your spare time. So I get it. And it can be crazy sometimes.
Well, with our current situation, it could be even longer.
Oh yeah.
To keep that in mind. Yeah.
So Kyle, you mentioned that you made a career field switch, right, from kind of the service restaurant industry into which I do want to park the bartender thing, because I want to chat about that for a second. So I want to come back to it. But so any kind of personal advice in making a career change? I feel like when we come out of this, a lot of people may make, if you're unemployed or you're going through your furloughed or something, you might be looking to make a career choice. A career change. So any personal advice because that's a pretty big switch from the restaurant industry and just, staffing and.
Well, Interestingly enough, it's not as different as you might think. I
Really?
spent
Oh,
all of my days serving and talking to people,
okay.
and I'm still pretty much doing the same thing, but instead of selling food and drinks, I essentially market people.
Okay.
So my
It is
product is the
kind of the
people that I
same.
that I send out. It is similar. Obviously, you don't have to deal with as many unruly entitled customers. That's definitely a difference there, and a very welcomed.
Yes,
um,
I'm sure.
yes, but
Yeah.
I'd say if you're looking to make a career change and you have a clear idea of what you want to do, obviously you definitely want to try to get a degree in that field. And if you can't or you can't afford it, look into certifications. Like I know there's a bunch of certifications for cybersecurity. There are certifications for information technology. Just do the research, look up the certifications, get those first, and then maybe go for the degree or flip it if you have the ability to afford that and you have the time to do so. And
Yeah,
really
and I
just
would go ahead, Kyle. You
no,
go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
No, I was going to say just kind of what you were saying. I think is a good thought in the sense that what you did before, you're using those same similar skills to what you're doing now. And I think honestly, like anyone that's in like the service industry, because I know that's one of the places that have been hit really hard in this
Yes.
situation, is thinking about in the service industry is customer service and what you're, who you were, what like when I'm hiring new people, I have definitely considered in the mortgage industry, I like hiring people that necessarily don't have the experience because I can train them and teach them the way that, kind of like I want things to be done in the sense of our team working together and things like that. But what I can't teach is I can teach the mortgage, but I can't teach customer service and the ethic, the work ethic, the caring, the going above and beyond, and really valuing what that service looks like. And I think a lot of people in the service industry have that. So it's taking that and then incorporating it maybe into another field. But like you said, carrying the same, skills into another field, but knowing that
True.
it can cross over. So
Right.
Yeah.
that's what I kind of mention regarding that as well.
And that's
Yep.
why I'm a firm believer when I see online people are saying, got to work in the service industry for at least 6 months to understand the reality of the world. And I truly believe that. I mean, if you spend some
Yeah.
time working in the service industry, your communication skills will go up, your ability to handle craziness will go up, your skin will thicken.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just your
Yeah,
your
you're
ability to
having
multitask.
to balance a lot of different things at one time. So it's
Exactly.
multiple, all of that kind of stuff. I mean, I've
Yeah.
worked in a restaurant for maybe 2 months. That's all I could take. So I was in college, and I'm like, okay, this is not for me.
I did it for 10 years. I mean, I love people and I love communicating with people. And so that's why I think I did well in the restaurant industry. And I think that's why I'm doing so well so far with the staffing firm. It's engaging people and it's being honest and transparent. And basically, I'm not here to swindle you. I'm not here to try and extract money from you. I know certain recruiters get a bad rep for that, but I mean, at the end of the day, my whole goal is to put people to work and get them something better than what they have now. And
Right.
if it's not better for you, then that's great. I'm glad we could have the conversation. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. I'm happy to help in any way I can. But if it
Right.
does, I want to help you, and I want to help you get in the door for Northrop Grumman and their Lunar Gateway program and getting to the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
So,
think, go ahead.
oh, no. Go ahead, Jolene. Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking, it's kind of like what we've talked about with a couple different small businesses that we've had on here is in
Dog.
what
Sorry.
what we may be having to do now to keep our business moving forward. Like I think we've mentioned that there's a wine tour company that I've used to set up wine tours for my team. It now created a date night basket that they deliver to your home, things like that. So
Pivoting.
they've kind of had to be creative, and that's it. What I would say right now too in the staffing world is thinking about like you may have been in that service industry for a long time, like you said you were in it for 10 years, but now thinking about what can you do to cross over and take those skills
Your
that
skill
you
sets
have
that cross over. Yeah.
right, and move it into something else that may still be hiring and that may be growing and continuing to kind of move forward. So that's what I would kind of think about, what do those skills look like
Yeah.
and how can you apply those?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like your industry, Kyle, is well primed for the next phase of whatever's going to be after COVID.
Yes.
I mean, everything, I mean, it was going that way anyway. I mean, it was all, virtual and technologically driven, and everything that kind of surrounds it, from cybersecurity to software engineering to anything, it seems like. And it just seems now is, I think we're going to just see that accelerated, I feel like, a little bit more than perhaps we did prior to the pandemic hitting the world.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there are a lot of companies who've taken a hit and they've had to get to, lay off some folks, and those same folks are going to come to our doorstep, or we're going to approach them and say, "Hey, I know you lost your job because of all this. I'm really sorry. I'm here to help. I think I can help you. I have an opportunity I think you'd be a fit for." And I see that growing in the future. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's unpark the bartender thing.
What do you want to know? You want me to make a martini or a Manhattan? What do you want?
Yes. Actually, I think, Jolene, with your permission, I just would love to invite him back for, maybe a fun episode next week or something like that, where he can teach us that. I have no idea. I am dog.
Well, he taught me how to make a martini on, we were doing
I did a Zoom call. Yeah,
virtual call, and I made it completely wrong. And so he taught me how to do it accurately, and it would taste a whole lot better.
Really? Oh, okay. So maybe that's what we need to do, is like preload about like, what do we want to know how to make?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then, that would be so much fun.
Put a menu together. I'll make some drinks for you. What do you want? A mojito? You want a mint julep?
Yeah. Oh, especially mint juleps and mojitos, getting into the spring and summer months now. I love a good mojito. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that would be so much fun. All right. So should we do our favorite binge things really quick,
that
Jolene?
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right. You want me to go for it?
We ask like kind of 3 questions at the end, just fun questions, but they're about binge.
Okay.
So what would be a binge show that you are watching right now? Something that you can't stop watching?
So I'm not saying a curse word, I promise here, but Schitt Creek, SCHITTS, Schitt Creek, is a great show, and I rewatch it pretty frequently because the humor just doesn't stop. It's always hilarious. As far as one show that I love that I binge watched, they just released a 2nd season. Now, this is extremely specific if you're a zombie fan at all and you like foreign TV shows. It's a TV show on Netflix called Kingdom. It's a very interesting political thriller / zombie TV show. So it has a lot of, political subterfuge and aspects along those lines. And there's a zombie outbreak, and it takes place in feudal Korea. So it's a very interesting, like 1800s Korea, where guns are introduced and bows and arrows and swords. It's very cool. I like it. I think it's very well done. It keeps you in suspense, and it does a good job of kind of showing you how this all happened in a chronological order and what's been going on since.
Wow.
I'm a big fan. I've liked zombies since I saw George Romero's, Dawn of the Dead, Land of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to tell my husband about that one. I feel like he might like that.
Yeah, it's very well done.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite food that you're binging while you're watching?
Well, being that I'm here with my mother, and Jolene can attest to this, she's very much, about healthy living and cooking. So as far as binge food, I don't really get the chance to do that because we have like meal plans, and we're going to cook like all kinds of different wonderful meals that my mom has picked out from the cookbook. And we're like, all right, tonight we're going to make homemade enchiladas, or we're going to do our homemade bulgogi recipe.
Oh, all of those sounds delicious. So, binging, I think maybe I need to change the term or the question, because you think that it's got to be like some food that like candy or some salt snack or something like that. But we had Mary Jewett a couple episodes ago. She's binging red meat because it's like, she's like, I don't eat red meat a lot. And so it's a comfort food for her. So you're binging good food. And is there a takeout service like that I could come by and pick up? Because all of that sounds so good.
Yeah, we'll have to work out rates for that, but we could definitely make something happen.
And then the last question is do you have like a binge activity, like your favorite binge activity? Like when you get done with your work day and you need to chill your brain out a little bit, what are you doing?
I'm either, well, there are three things that I like to do, and I've been doing a lot of. I'm gonna show my true nerd here. Magic the Gathering, which is just a fun card game. It's like chess, but with a multi-universe backstory. It's interesting.
Okay.
So there's that. I play with Courtney quite frequently. Some video games I enjoy, like Red Dead Redemption 2. Great storyline, great plot, great open world concept. And then I play guitar and I play bass and I sing.
Oh, do you really?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
What did you?
He's in a
Did you used to be in a
band,
band? Did you really?
I'm in a band.
He's on
you're in a
hiatus right now because of the COVID.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Do you do any Have you thought about doing virtual shows?
Unfortunately, we're not really equipped to do that. It takes separate audio, separate video, all kinds of equipment that we just don't have in either of the groups that I'm in.
Wow, that is so cool! I didn't know that. What a fun fact!
Yeah.
My husband used to be my husband used to be in a band, and my daughter actually she started playing bass maybe a year ago or so.
Oh, very cool.
And she just got one for her birthday, and now like one of her music teachers or her music teacher at school is giving her some on the side lessons and stuff, which is, I'm trying to get her to play Pearl Jam. I don't know what genre of music you're in, but I'm like, please just learn how to play Pearl Jam for me, because that's really cool.
Well, I'm gonna do this because this was the program that I was in when I was younger. I'm gonna give a quick shout out to School of Rock.
Yeah.
I pretty much learned everything that I've ever known in terms of music from School of Rock and the people there and who taught me. And your daughter, if she likes rock music and she wants to, play in a band and get some stage time, that's a fun way to do it.
Do it? Oh,
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that. Yeah, I've heard of them. They've got like some fun summer camps and stuff. There's not one kind of close to me or close to us, but I've certainly looked into like their summer camps.
Yeah, definitely have her try the summer
referral.
camp. It's fun. It's like 2 weeks, and then at the end of the 2 weeks, you put on a show and you can invite your friends and family.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
near their school, Tanya. I bet you there's one near. I bet you there's one near their school, near your daughter's school.
Where?
That's right.
Because isn't it in Falls Church or McLean? Like,
yes.
It's not the school. There's a school I think in like Vienna, Falls Church. Area.
It's in Vienna, right off of like 123 and Church Road. It's like right around the corner from the Vienna Inn.
Okay, super. Well, that's so cool. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Jolene, I know we texted about this earlier. It's Bring Your Child to Work Day.
Yeah, mine's upstairs.
Oh, she is?
Yeah. Oh. She slept in like a teenager today. I'm like, what are you doing?
Did she really? All right. Well, my two have been dying to. Okay, you can turn around. You got to turn around this way. Dying to come on Facebook Live. So, yeah, they have.
Let me see if I can. We can just take a picture with them. Oops, I was going to say I could try to bring Blake down, but it may take too long. So let me just take and then Kyle's going to play guitar.
No, I'm not. Yeah. You just said take your child to work day, so I'm just grabbing.
So mine. You're bringing your child to work day. There's your child.
Yes, that's my baby.
All right. Well, there you go. Right. Now we brought. Oh man, I'm sorry. I should have given you a heads up, a better heads up.
You did, but I was like I said, I was running a little late this morning, and she slept forever, so I hadn't had a chance. I just texted him, but I'm not sure he'll see it. So
all right. Well, we'll do it later. Okay. Thank you, Kyle, so much.
Yeah,
I really appreciate you coming on. This was really great. It was really cool information. I have to hook you up with my husband. I know. Mom at work. Yeah, this is mom at work, her side hustle. I'm gonna have to connect you with my husband, because like I'm telling you, like he could talk space like for he tries to talk to the three of us, and we're like, I don't really know.
If you guys don't want it, I'll talk about it all night. I'm ready to go.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are back next Tuesday. At 11 a.m. Here we go. Next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Facebook Live. Check us out.
All right,
thanks, guys.
Bye, Kyle.
Bye.